talk about what has played out. The APC had its world congresses all around the country yesterday, but it did not come without its own share of controversy. In fact, in certain places, chaos and violence. And so let's bring in our guest, who is a member of the APC in Ondo State, Mr. Shola Ajisafe. He joins us virtually. Mr. Ajisafe, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, there are different versions of the same event, depending on who you're speaking to. So what we heard the first time was the effect that the members were holding their stakeholders meeting. This was not even the day of the World Congress, the eve of the World Congress, if you will. And the chairman of the party was in that particular venue. And then, boom, certain persons, according to the report, members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers came, invaded, and assaulted violently the people. That certain people are now hospitalized. Now, that is a sketchy picture we have. What the intention is depends on who you're speaking to. That's why we brought you to give us maybe all sides of the story and what your position is.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning, Nigerians. It was a fact that the so-called meeting, that meeting, was slated by the Congress committee sent from Abuja. Earlier on Monday, there was a meeting with the state chairman and the representative of the governor. I was not in that particular meeting. But in the afternoon, I was there when one of the Congress committee who came from Plateau State, one Mr. Chitu, came in, and I was the one who received him. We even took him to his hotel in Ijako. And we were informed that the meeting in the morning has said that the members of the party, extended members of the party, should meet by 12 o'clock on Tuesday. That was the meeting we were in. We were waiting for them. I was one of the first callers to the meeting. But unfortunately, instead for us to get the people from Abuja to come and talk to us, we received hoodlums sent by Mr. Governor. The governor of Ondo State procured these people because it's in his character. Send them to the place, and all hell was let loose. The chairman was beaten to a pulp. I was beaten to a pulp. You can see my walking stick. I'm still a young man, but I'm using a walking stick now. Was beaten to a pulp. A lot of people were. The former chairman of Okigbo Ilaolu is struggling with his life currently now. Another person, Success, who was a former member of the Ondo State House of Assembly, is totally in the hospital currently, and many other persons. These people, we know them. These people, we understand them. These people are members of this society, and many of them are members of the transport union. Aside from that, many of those who led them to the place, some of them are members of the Ondo State House of Assembly. Some of them are members of aides of the governor of Ondo State. We were there together. I was there. I was pointed to like this, and they took me and they beat the hell out of me. So if anybody is giving any other story, like what the governor was saying, that those people that fought were fighting, it was a disagreement between aspirants. Which aspirants? Who are those aspirants? Did they call a meeting for aspirants? No. Well, the meeting was called by the Congress committee that was sent from Abuja.
Well, Mr.
Now let's look at it.
If I can come in quickly, you have made very strong allegations against the governor, and you also referred to his own response, saying that, and in fact, I'm going to quote him word for word now, that he got to know that some miscreants who had sympathy for one aspirant or the other those who are contesting for one position or the other, who are moving around and trying to create some kind of fracas among themselves, which led to some disturbance. He went on to say that he's asked the Commissioner of Police to ensure that the place is protected and all of that. So the governor said, well, I don't know anything about this, but why do you insist that this is from the governor? Those are strong allegations. You have some evidence that points to that.
Let's take it in context. How can the governor of a state, who is the chief security officer, whether titular or whatever, chief security officer, claim that he does not know what was happening in his state? A matter that he discussed with the chairman of the party, a matter that is aware of, a people that he received, a meeting that he sent somebody earlier, a day previous to. How could he have said that? You can see that these are lies.
No,
and
his
if
words.
Saying,
I don't think his knowledge is about the event itself. It's about the attack and the attackers, that he got to know that those miscreants.
Mr. Moderator, Mr.
So the point I'm trying to make
Mr.
is
Moderator.
he was speaking to the attack, not the event, just to clear that out. But please go on.
Now, let me tell you, in respect of the event, Mr. Lucky Oribesa Aiyedatiwa has a history of violence. When Akeredolu died and he was buried, and the president wanted to come and visit, aspirants who were contesting with him for the house, he was an aspirant then, wanted to come and pay, and their supporters wanted to come and welcome the president. They did not allow anybody. They destroyed all the billboards of these aspirants along the airport corridor. They beat up supporters of these aspirants, that of Wale Akitarewa, that of Oke, and that of Jimo Ibrahim. They chased them from the junction up to Baba Fachoranti House and the School of Agric. I was around, I was there. And when the issue happened, he deflated. That's the usual, the same set of people he used during that period, and the same set of people he's using now. We are not just new, we are not new in those states. And someone like me, I'm not new in this business. I know it, I've been around. We know how congresses are conducted in those states. There's no perfect system. We are not asking for a perfect system. But to say that he was not aware is a lie from the pit of hell. He lied. And if he's saying that, then that means his capacity and his responsibility. He has charged his responsibility as the chief security officer of Ondo State. If you know you cannot lead the people, then why are you the governor? You have a responsibility to protect the people. Don't you have a security people that give you information? So for the governor to be telling us that he doesn't know, is wrong. He knew these people. They have been working for him. He installed them. As a head of the transport union. They worked for him during the campaign. It was inside that hall. I saw these people. I know them. I was inside that hall. It was inside the hall. They pointed to me, and they took me on, and they beat the hell out of me.
So if I may ask,
telling Nigeria
Mr. Ajisa,
that he doesn't know.
What do you think is in? Because now it's an allegation against the governor, which you're trying to say is behind it based on history. That is your position. The government will respond for themselves, but we just needed to put it out there that this is an allegation. What do you think is the intention here? If we accept it without conceding that indeed what you're saying is correct.
Can you repeat your question?
I was wondering, what do you think, accepting without necessarily conceding, because it's an allegation, the government to respond for themselves. What do you think is the intention? What do you conclude, or are you contemplating to be the intention here for this attack?
The intention of Mr. Lucky Oribesa Aiyedatiwa is known to him. But by history, by what we know currently, he is afraid He has a belief that somebody somewhere is about to take his position, even though the Constitution has made it very clear that he cannot recontest. This man has no intention of ensuring that Nigerians, on those state people, vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And here is somebody in the person of the Minister of the Federal Republic representing Ondo State, Tunji Ojo, who is doing so very well, who has mobilized a lot of support groups, and this was what was giving him headache.
Mr. Aiyedatiwa, I would like you to speak in plain terms. So, since you're not speaking in plain terms, without putting words in your mouth, so I would like maybe a yes or a no, or you properly contextualize. Are you saying that the governor, Aiyedatiwa, is worried that maybe someone else is trying to take over the structure of the political party in the state that may jeopardize whatever his future ambition is? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That is the point. That is the point.
And is that true?
And if you look at it.
And is that true?
See, my brother, in politics all over the world, and particularly in Nigeria, and more particularly in Ondo State, it's a contest of ideas and interests. No one should have the total esco. And if you look at the issues that have led to this, was it not the governor that went to Abuja to collect the forms, and the other party did not have forms until the other party was able to get his own set of forms? Was it not the same governor that asked all he is? They have written the names of everybody from the lowest in each of the wards. And they have written these names. Ordinarily, when it happened during the time of Akeredolu. You come together and you align, you discuss, it's a give and take. But this situation is afraid, it's not ready. And when he discovered, that was the reason why the convention committee came and set up the meeting so that they can align. But unfortunately, the convention committee too have been compromised by the governor.
Okay, so Mr. Chishofe,
they were the people who set up the committee. They did not come. Right. They did not come for the meeting at the appropriate time. The thing was violently disrupted. But later in the evening, by 6:30 to 8 o'clock, they came back without asking for the chairman and those of us that were brutally manhandled. Many are
maybe we should.
One manner of people.
And would like to see the police investigate this and come up with their findings, arraign those responsible. Let us really see the police work on this one. But let's speak in plainer terms, if we can. Are you essentially saying that this is a battle, in a manner of speaking, between the governor and the Minister of Interior?
It's between Aiyedatiwa and himself. Let me give you this. That's why the fact that they believe, because when those people entered the hall 3 days ago, I was there. I was manhandled. When they entered the hall, they were shouting, "Hey, the governor is talking. Who is BTO? Who is talking? Who is this? Why must they have a meeting?" This thing. They disrupted it. Then in the evening, he came. He came with this so-called convention committee and had his own meeting without the chairman and other members of the party. For God's sake, we built this party in this state. Ordinarily, you should allow the
Mr. Aiyedatiwa, I think your points are well noted. We would expect the response from the government or the people on the other side as far as it's concerned. But politics should not be a do or die affair. We understand it's a zero-sum game the way it's played in Nigeria. But as you guys will always say with greatest respect, is a family business. It's a family thing. So I'm sure as a family in the APC, there'll be a way to resolve this. But I must thank you for coming, and we empathize with you over the injuries you've sustained, and we hope this will be sorted amicably at the end. Shola Ajisafe is a member of the APC in Ondo State. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Thank you.
We're done with politics. We'll take a break. And when we come back after this break, we'll continue to talk national politics beyond Ondo State. Stay with us.